Good evening, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update. And in the news of this evening, 6 homeless fall in fire in Peaceview. 2 children are among 6 individuals rendered homeless following a fire in Peaceview, St. James on Saturday afternoon. The fire, which started just after midday, spread quickly, got in the 5-apartment board structure, leaving nothing to salvage. Reports are that most of the individuals were at home when they heard the shouts of fire. They managed to escape with 2 of the adults sustaining minor injuries. According to the fire brigade, they responded with 2 fire units and an ambulance from the Montego Bay Fire Station. Firefighters managed to contain the blaze before it could spread to an adjoining dwelling in the yard and other nearby buildings. Loss is estimated at $4 million and the building was not insured. Woman hit during shooting at Yuwatown Police Station has died. A 54-year-old woman who was reportedly accidentally shot by a policeman who was attacked by a machete-wielding man at the Yuwatown Police Station on Thursday has died. She has been identified as Dawn Palmer, a janitor of Churches Street, Yuwatown. Palmer and the machete-wielding man, who is said to be mentally ill, were taken to the Linstead Hospital for treatment. However, she succumbed to her injuries about 7:45 a.m. Saturday. The man remains hospitalized. About 7:57 p.m. on Thursday, a member of the police team was reportedly collecting a statement from someone when the man barged into the building with a machete. He was reportedly instructed to drop the weapon, but instead chopped at the policeman, who retreated to the guard room. The man pursued him inside, and the policeman reportedly discharged 1 round in the direction of his attacker, who was wounded in the abdomen. The woman was also reportedly hit during the incident. The Independent Commission of Investigations has started its probe and secured exhibits in the matter. Inmate killed in stabbing incident at the St. Catherine Adult Correctional Center. An investigation is underway into the fatal stabbing of an inmate by another at the St. Catherine Adult Correctional Center on Friday. The deceased has been identified as 32-year-old Jermaine Rogers. Reports are that about 3 p.m. there was a commotion at a section of the penal institution, during which Rogers was attacked and stabbed in his chest with a sharp object. Rogers was taken to the Spanish Town Hospital, where he succumbed to his injuries. The Spanish Town Police have initiated a murder investigation into the matter. The Independent Commission of Investigations has also launched a probe. St. Anne teen mother and his son missing. The St. Anne police are seeking the public's assistance to locate 16-year-old Sanya Brock and her 9-month-old son, Shamar of Exchange, Oteria, St. Anne, who have been missing since Tuesday. The police say Sanya is of brown complexion, medium build, and about 5 feet 7 inches tall. Reports from the Oteria's police are that Sanya and her son were last seen at home about 6:30 p.m. They have not been heard from since. Their mode of dress at the time they went missing was not stated. Anyone knowing the whereabouts of Sanya Brock and Shamar is being asked to contact the Oteria's police at 876-974-2533, the 119 police emergency number, or the nearest police station. Elderly patient falls to his death at the Kingston Public Hospital. An investigation has been launched into the death of a man who is suspected to have fallen from the 3rd floor of the medical ward at the Kingston Public Hospital this morning. The news was informed that the patient had an argument with a nurse who tried to tie him to a bed. He is said to have resisted. It's further understood that he climbed over the railing of the building and fell. It is not clear whether his actions were deliberate. Dr. Natalie Wiley, Chief Executive Officer of both the Kingston Public Hospital and the adjoining Victoria Jubilee Hospital, said the incident occurred about 5:25 a.m. The details of what transpired are still under investigation.
So I can confirm that we did have a critical incident this morning where a patient appears to have fallen from a ward at the Kingston Public Hospital. So in matters of this nature, obviously there are concerns regarding, first of all, the care of the patient. We also have a duty of care to the relatives. So we're in the early stage of investigating the matter.
Court acquits a man accused of shooting at the police in 2023. Javon Wise, the man accused of shooting at 3 police officers in Bull Bay, St. Andrew in 2023, has been acquitted. Mr. Wise, who was represented by Vincent Leslie, had been on trial since last year. He was acquitted on Thursday, with Justice Caroline Ty Powell handing down a not guilty verdict. During the trial, 3 cops testified that they visited Mr. Wise's community on February 13, 2023, after they were informed of an upsurge in gang activities. They said when they arrived, they heard explosions sounding like gunfire. The police further reported that they observed 3 men on a veranda who ran as they approached. The cops said they went in pursuit of the men who allegedly ran in various directions. According to the police, they saw Mr. Wise, who was not wearing a shirt, running with a firearm in his hand. They said Mr. Wise shot at them and they returned the fire hitting him. But Mr. Wise gave a different account, stating he was at a house using the internet when he heard explosions and ran. Mr. Wise, who said he sought refuge in a gully, said he thought gunmen had shot him, but he later found out that it was the police. He was taken to Kingston Public Hospital, where he received the treatment, and then taken to the Port Royal Police Station. During cross-examination, it was revealed that only the Independent Commission of Investigations, which is not a police agency, had processed the crime scene. The judge, in handing down the verdict, raised the issue of credibility. She pointed out that the investigator testified that he saw a spent casing, but it was inconsistent with where the accused was running. No spent casing was recovered where the cops said the accused fired at them. Deputy Mayor at odds with the Mayor of Kingston over Building Act breaches. Deputy Mayor of Kingston, Delroy Williams, has rejected statements by Mayor Andrew Swaby in relation to breaches of the Building Act. Mr. Williams says the comments are seeking to distract from what he said has been a lack of transparency and the bad governance practices which have plagued the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation since the People's National Party has been at the top of the power-sharing arrangements in the corporation. The PNP secured the mayorship of the corporation after last February's local government election by virtue of winning a small majority of the popular vote, even though it tied with the Jamaica Labour Party in the number of seats won. Councillor Williams of the JLP, who had been mayor prior to the election, was appointed deputy mayor under the power-sharing arrangement in the newly constituted council after the election. The KSAMC recently announced that 2 developers, Estate Bridge Holdings and the Jackden Group, have been fined for building breaches. The building breaches were identified at a residential property at 2 Waycliffe Close in Beverly Hills, being developed by Estate Bridge Holdings, as well as at a commercial building at 18.5 Lyndhurst Road, being developed by Jackden Group. Mr. Williams says Mayor Swaby has sought to attribute blame to him for a blatant breach of the building code by the Jackden Group.
Now, we had to be very clear to state that Estate Bridge had applied for a permit, a building permit and planning permission, that they provided the drawings and all the accompanying documentation, that the application went through the building approval process and an approval was granted and a permit issued. And they proceeded to construct after receiving the permit. On the other hand, the Jackden Group did not receive a permit, proceeded to construct, completed the construction work without a permit. That's clear. That is the difference between the two.
Thank you everyone for watching. See you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. for another news update.